This is my dream.
What we're about to watch could be something extremely special.
Having a shot at $2 million? Are you kidding me? That's going to change somebody's life.
That's what I'm doing!
Helmet off! Outlaw can't be stopped!
Just 10 more seconds on each bull, right through the whistle. I can bet I can cowboy up for that much.
It's Laura Moe. She was the top in the semifinals.
I've been dreaming about this for so long. I've been wanting to go to the American since I watched my dad there when I was a little girl.
What the American is, celebrating the cowboy way, the rodeo way.
That's just greatness. He has elevated this sport.
To the top of the leaderboard, Jackie knows it too.
It was amazing. I can't describe any feeling like it.
What can't Crawford do?
There's going to be a lot of smack talking going on.
Takes that one. Ow!
There's $2 million up for grabs. That's nuts for a cowboy.
I'm so excited to get back. Best in the world is in there.
Competing against the best.
It's a dream come true.
We're ready to take it on at Jerry's World.
You can't get more electricity than that in the building.
$2 million. That changed your guys' life a bit, eh?
That place is made for big moments, so I'm going to see if I can go get me one of them.
I hope I'm $2 million richer.
The wait is over. Champions will be crowned inside AT&T Stadium today. It's the largest payout ever in Western sports as one athlete could walk away with $2.1 million. Lives are about to be changed. The question is, whose? It's the 9th edition of the American Rodeo, now brought to you by Teton Ridge. In a stadium filled with so many big moments in sports, these rodeo athletes are about to add some more. Welcome to a much-anticipated championship Sunday in Arlington, Texas, alongside 5-time steer wrestling champ Luke Branquino, 2-time PBR world champ Justin McBride. I'm Kate Harrison. It is so great to have you with us today. $2.1 million in one day in rodeo, guys, seemed impossible until now.
Yeah, and listen, these guys, they have a chance at prize money that they've never seen before. It's taken legends of the industry over a decade to get to $2.1 million in career earnings. These guys could do it one day.
Yeah, it really is unbelievable. I mean, the money is a huge thing, the possibility of that happening. But there's also a real possibility of getting to see greatness today because the way the athletes, the stock are all matched up and how they're going to be pushing the limits of what people have thought was even possible in this sport, it's going to be something to see.
90 athletes will be competing inside this incredible arena. One of those, a last-minute ad, Kai Hamilton out of the bull riding. World champ Stetson Wright gets a nod. He's standing by the 4th member of our broadcast team, Anthony Lucia.
A man who is very familiar with AT&T Stadium, Stetson Wright. A second opportunity. Friday night didn't go as planned, but the door is now open.
Yeah, I mean, I guess everything happens for a reason, and I'm just pretty lucky to be here. And I mean, I wish it would have been under different circumstances, but I got a second chance, and I'm gonna use it.
Not just a second chance, a huge opportunity because, Stetson, you just found out that you have actually drawn the bull Top Shelf D&H Cattle Company, and this is a bull you know a lot about.
Yeah, really good bull of HD and Dylan Page. Right there to the left will step ahead and really try to get your chin, and he's likely to go back to the right, but you can be anywhere from 90 to 93 on him, so it's a good one to draw into.
The history maker Stetson Wright will see what he can get done on this championship Sunday.
This place is made for big moments. It's made for magic, and Rodeo's best are about to make that happen, and it all starts with the breakaway roping. Our top 10 round kicks off right here. It's presented by Cactus Saddlery. Then the top 4 move on to that shootout round. Cadence Crawford hopes to be one of those contenders who moves on and keeps that $2.1 million dream alive. She will be last to go just before her stepmother, Jackie Crawford. It is set to be good. We're going to start, though, with the youngest athlete competing overall today. It's Harley Pryor, and she's just 13 years old.
Yeah, and Luke, I've been so amazed and impressed by this young lady right here. Her composure getting to this point has been spot on.
Yeah, she's looked like a veteran and has a great cap. They broke the barrier and were a fast 2 on her, so let's see if she can probably get it done.
Pryor picks it up here, 3 swings, pops off just like that. 2:57. She turned around, seems happy with that as she could. What a way to set the pace, 13 years old. Pryor.
And just like, no big deal. Yeah, $2 million chance for that today. Yep, I'm just going to go out here and make them come get me.
Well, and the breakaway to me was one of the most impressive events at the Coliseum. These girls came to rope and came to get some of this money.
No stage proving too big for Pryor. That will set our mark as we go now to Morgan Sparks, also her first appearance inside this arena. Can't imagine being this young, doing what you love in this building.
Yeah, and she has a calf, Jackie Crawford. Missed the barrier on a little bit on Friday night, but Morgan has been sticking it on him. She gets the start, she can speed this up, and right here is one of our contenders, just like Harley was, chance at 2.1.
Yeah, and that's what's so cool to me in this event. Half of the field are the contenders.
And that's the thing about the breakaway rope. And these girls, that you have girls like Jackie Crawford, you know, Larry D. Guy, J.J. Hampton. These women have paved the way for these young girls.
Let's send it to Anthony.
Yeah, you're noticing this horse is very nervous in the box. There's a lot of things going on, but this horse, Morgan told me earlier, is very inexperienced when it comes to Coliseum. It's the 3rd time on Friday, and now today, can she get it done?
Sparks sails it out there. Unfortunately, pops right off the nose. It's going to be a no time for Sparks right here. Join the American action by signing up for Ride to Glory, the game. Predict the scores and times of the sport's greatest athletes right now, and you can win incredible prizes, including a 2022 Polaris Sportsman 570 EPS. It's free, easy, and there's nothing to download. Just go to ridetoglory.com and start playing now. Perhaps Joey Williams will be on your team. She holds a record, guys. 2021 NFR. She was a 1.7 in round number 4. She knows how to be fast when it matters the most. Williams.
Oh, something hung up right there. Her loop pulled out of her hand. I'm not sure what happened right there, Justin, but wow.
We're gonna get to see the judges coming up here talking about it. Yep, I remember. You remember that happened to Trevor Brazil here one year in the head?
That's right, and it looked like right as she pulled her loop up, it caught on something on the box. Now that is a stationary part of the box, of the arena, so I don't believe they're going to give her a rerun on that because it's not part of the mechanical barrier.
Williams will not get another run. You can see her frustration talking to Jackie Crawford, and rightfully so when you're on a stage like this going for that type of money. Sammy Taylor, another one of our contenders. There's 5 contenders out of the 10 breakaway ropers, so 50% chance we're going to have at least one moving on to keep that $2 million dream alive. Can Taylor tie it up here?
A little bit behind the barrier. Man, she gets it on that calf right there.
But then that calf was kind of slower like that, slowing up, so it took it a while to break off and stop the clock like that because she got it on him way faster than the 2.6.
And yet still a 2.62 in the horsemanship here out of Taylor. To stay in line, make sure that loop didn't go under her front leg, keep it clean. Talk about Taylor inside AT&T Stadium. That moves her right now into 2nd. Top 4 moving on to the shootout round. Now for Bailey Gruber, big opportunity here, just 19 years old.
And what a chance. Cadence Crawford on this calf, 2.2, so she knows she has a good chance right there. Now these calves are stepping off to the left. That you have to follow them, get in behind them. That's a harder shot for these girls to make. Calf steps off the right in your wheelhouse, but that was a great run right there.
3.22, that slides Goober into 3rd. And guess what? The 3 runs happened all to be 3 contenders. Talk about these young women showing up and showing out.
Well, yeah, and they're just not backing down. The moment is not too big so far, and that's what I'm the most impressed with. They all rope great, but it's who mentally can handle the pressure that this event brings.
And the moment never too big for Shelby Beaujolais. Her fellow competitors say she doesn't even know how good she is at roping. Finished the regular season last year, number 1. Ended up 2nd after the NFR, but oh no. The 2nd missed opportunity we saw from one of our invites.
Yeah, you can see her leave right there and come up. Just dropped her rope right there out of her hand, and you know, that's a mistake you don't see these girls in these situations make hardly ever, and that's just some tough luck.
That is the first time I've seen a bobble from Beaujolais. You just saw Jackie Crawford looking on. Mother Jackie, daughter Cadence will be the final two to go. Jackie vying for that 100,000. Cadence an opportunity at 2.1 million.
And they both have great calves, Justin. I mean, Taylor Munsell 2.9 on Friday and Kelsey Domer 2.6.
Domer does it big here. And she is clean, 2.32 for the 8-time WPRA champion.
Yeah, if you're going to want to have a chance at winning the American, you're going to have to get around this lady right here because she is for real every time.
Every time. You see that barrier right around her horse's chest. Good start. But look at her get it out of her hands so fast.
Domer has been here every year. We've had this breakaway roping her 2019, 2020, and now here 2022. So big opportunity coming up for the veteran. Right now, you need a 3 and 22 to advance. That is the mark for Taylor Munsell.
Oh, I think she might have got the barrier right there, guys. Calf left real average and never really took off and just clipped it right there.
With that penalty, it would have been a 1.96, 11 and 96. And then there were two. It's a mother and daughter dream we saw come to fruition at Cowtown Coliseum, and now here they come to AT&T Stadium. Take a look back at how they got here first. Jackie Crawford.
Yeah, you know, Jackie right here knew that she just was behind the barrier, made a smart shot. Got it around that calf's neck.
And then it was Cadence, top of the board.
Yeah, and Cadence just says, I don't care, I'm going for it. I'm trying to win every single time.
Jackie and Cadence, what a moment right there. Everyone inside Cowtown Coliseum felt the goosebumps, and now here we go again. Can we replicate that success of the Crawford family? First, it's going to be the 20-time world champ. Perhaps no one has been on this stage with this pressure more than Jackie Crawford.
Yeah, it doesn't show. I mean, she's been doing this forever. Knows what she knows what she needs to do to advance right here.
Has to be a 3 and 22. Is it? Crawford!
You talk about perfection. She gets the start, pulls herself up forward, gets out in front of that horse, and delivers a perfect loop. And that's just, you know, classic Jackie Crawford right there.
Yeah, in a calf that tries a little harder, a little crisper. It's a little further down the pin, but everything was happening so fast.
Crawford with that 2 and 44 does just what she needs to, setting number 2 right now overall, and that is a personal record inside AT&T Stadium for Jackie Crawford. Well, mom sets the pace, and here comes daughter Cadence Crawford, 17 years old. This is your big opportunity, Cadence.
Yeah, and we haven't seen her fault at all, Justin. I mean, she has been perfect in every aspect of this roping.
Has to be a 262 or quicker to advance. Oh, no, Cadence.
You know, and that calf dang sure tried. Probably tried as much as any of we've seen. Missed the barrier a little bit. Got that elbow down, dropped her arm, and loop didn't go over the calf's neck.
Unfortunately, daughter will not be moving on, but she will be here cheering on mother Jackie Crawford. What a tough break. You're right. By far, it seems the fastest calf we saw break out there.
Yeah, that calf dang sure tried. I mean, they roped her fast. Kelsey Domer, 2.6 at the Coliseum. But we got into a different building here now. A lot bigger. These calves feel there's a little more out in front of them. They can take off. A lot of left and right. That may play an effect in a lot of these timed events.
Jackie Crawford will come back. We have 2 invites and 2 contenders coming back. One of those names you see, Harley Pryor, 13 years old, has a shot at 2.1 million against the veteran. We're going straight from breakaway, and one great athlete to another. Casey Fields Six-time world champion getting set in the bareback. He's won here at AT&T 2 times before, has 6 gold buckles to prove it as well, and that success is going to continue right here, Justin.
Yeah, and for people that have never watched a rodeo, you're looking at the best guy that there's ever been in this particular event. Check it out. We don't call him the GOAT for just any reason. It's because of what he has accomplished. 6-time world champion, Joe Alexander, Bruce Ford, they really revolutionized and changed the sport of bareback riding. And then the great Bobby Moat with 25 round wins at the NFR. Casey's got 27 now. But it all started right there with that man, the great Louis Field, the all-around champ of the world. That's why Casey is who he is, the greatest of all time.
You know, and we got some great stock out for him. He's got meat sweats from Bridwell Rodeo. Talking to Tim, the owner of the horse, he said 88, 89 points. I'm hoping that's going to be enough with some of these horses here, huh?
88, 89 if somebody else has got him. Casey Field, though, he can max things out. You know, he can take an 88-pointer and be 90 or 91 on him.
It is the bareback riding presented by JCB. Field fired up, he's ready, and he's alongside some of his best buddies, guys. It's 8 invites here in this field, 2 contenders. This is one of the events we really saw that veteran side paid off to make it here. One of the biggest moments in American history came the very first year in 2014. It's our preferred out of the gate moment, and that none other than Richie Champion.
Yeah, Richie was the first guy that everybody realized, holy smokes, you can actually accomplish this at the American. And this was a great ride. Look, this building is set up for greatness in the Bears and the Bronx because the horses have room to have their best day. And Richie, he's never looked back since that either. He's been in the national finals a bunch of times. And speaking of which, here's a 3-time world champion, Tim O'Connell, on a great horse in Showstopper from Frontier. This is a horse that they've won this event on. Gonna have some moves, and then O'Connell's gonna let them roll.
O'Connell out first, Showstopper, his dancing partner.
What a strong horse right there.
Strong. And more than having some moves, turns back today, and you can see, gets Tim rocked forward, his feet dropped. And anytime that happens against this level of horse, look, you're going to see either huge scores or potentially buck-offs, and you don't see buck-offs often in the bareback ride.
Well, and right here, right in this jump, it looks like he gets hit in the back pretty hard and knocks him out of timing with that horse.
Yeah, and look, in the bareback ride, these guys, it's all about trying to keep their hips up underneath of that rigging, because once they get rolled out, advantage horse.
Showstopper was actually the same horse that O'Connell won it all on here in 2017. That was a 90 1/4. This is going to be a no score for the previous American champ. As we go now to Jess Pope, he is matching up with a horse he actually knows well, rode for 87 points, Annual News.
Yeah, and look, Jess Pope has turned into a guy that it doesn't matter. He doesn't have to have a horse that fits his style, because his style fits every kind of a horse.
Out of the 7 American champs who have won in the bareback riding, 6 are in this field. Pope hopes to add his name to that list. It's going to take a big one here.
Oh, and this is a great start. He's got a hold of him. Our first score should be a pretty darn good one.
Pope prevails on Annual News. Now it's all up to the judges to see where that mark will be. Top 4 highest scores moving on to that shootout round. Will Pope punch his ticket with this one? 86.5.
Yeah, the bar's been set. Trying to be in the top 4, right? That's what you're going to need to be. With this set of horses, you know, that score isn't safe.
No, it's not. And, you know, you can see just going down the list of horses and how they're matched up to their riders. And, you know, Jez is kind of thinking the same thing right now.
You can see Pope Walking easily there out of the arena as well. He'll want to catch his breath if he does make it back to that shootout round. Cole Franks, our next invited athlete, he's matching up with Under Fire.
Yeah, a younger horse right here, but really, really a good one.
At just 20 years old, you're looking at the reigning bareback rookie of the year. Under Fire fires right out of the gate.
Turns back and he stays even with both feet. Horse kind of has some weird timing. A lot of times when you see a horse get to turning back, they'll get to whirling and it just doesn't give a guy a chance to really spur him evenly with both feet. And this one at least had a little bit of timing with him. His kick started going away a little bit. Hop skip right here. Looks pretty good, and then he gets to turning back and sets him up one jump right there. They're gonna have to dock him. When you see their feet come out of their neck and drop, they'll dock him a little bit there.
Franks, his first time matching up with Under Fire. It's 80.5. He's going to be holding his breath to see if that's enough with the field that we've got coming up.
Yeah, because we're talking about horses like this, full baggage from Frontier. This is a legendary horse right here. And Clayton Bigelow, look, every now and then something will stick him into his hand, but when he can stay square, he's as good as anybody out there.
Bigelow, 2019 world champ, been to the American 5 years. Is this going to be his year? No moment too big for Bigelow. Full baggage, full force right out of the gate.
He was getting loosened up a little bit right there.
You could see the power coming toward the end of that ride. I mean, this is the most physically intense grind of any of the events in this sport. These guys are so tough.
86 points for Bigelow. Right now, let's go down to Anthony Lucia. He's standing by with one of our breakaway ropers. Moving on, the champ, Jackie Crawford.
One step closer to that $100,000, but when you walked up here, I could tell this was a bittersweet moment.
Yeah, it was. You know, it was fun coming into here with Cadence, and having the little family rivalry was so fun. And, you know, I remember my first big heartbreak when it came to competition. And, you know, it's one of those things that I think in every kid's career, a winner's career, they find that pinnacle where they finally get a taste of winning. And I really hope this was hers, but I just hope she bounces back, you know, like the winner I know she is. And she will. She'll be back.
Your fastest run was posted today in the history of the American, but let's talk about how far Breakaway has come in the last 3 years and this run.
Oh, you know, it's come so far in the last 3 years. I remember walking in here the first time and just being so just like, how are we even here? It's like a dream, you know, and now I'm just, you know, the competitiveness of it and watching these kids come up, you know, watching Cadence. This is such a big stage for her. The start changed up. I thought her cap was sharper than all of them. And, you know, it's just one of them things. It's going to happen a lot in somebody's career, but there's two other girls coming in looking pretty good.
Yeah, two contenders moving on with their chance at the $2 million, but Jackie Crawford's focused on one thing, being the fastest in that $100,000 payday.
Tilden Hooper, 2021 American champion, right inside this building. This time, he's got to get past Huey Rocks in a big way to get back to that shootout round.
Look for a little scoot and things to break loose.
And they broke loose right away. Hooper with the hop.
Tilden is letting them roll. Holy smokes. Hey, you can't go at it any harder than that guy right there just did.
And there's no denying Hooper. He knows what he just did inside this incredible stadium. He's ready. 89 points for Hooper aboard Huey Rocks.
And if I'm judging, he's 90 because you cannot expose yourself to getting bucked off any more than he just did. Like, he gave that horse every advantage he could have possibly given him because he said, I am going for first place.
The fine line of going at him to win first or get bucked off.
That's bareback rider mentality, though. There isn't no just getting by one.
The reigning American champ just put himself one step closer. Hooper goes to the top of the leaderboard, but it's the first champ we ever saw inside of here with that $1 million check. The only guy to take home the whole payday. Richie champion, can he get there again?
Yeah, this one that he's talking about could have some weird timing. just kind of long trying to get away from Richie, but Richie's so good. He's so darn strong and gets a hold with his feet really good. You can see the difference between him and what we just seen in Tilden. Tilden just let him zing off his rigging handle every time. Richie was trying to have to keep a hold of this horse, and he's really trying to get away from him.
Since winning that $1 million, he has not been able to advance to the shootout round in the year since. 86 points this time aboard Girl Crush. We'll have to see if it's enough. Right now, that is your cut. You got to be 86 or better. So in this moment, Champion is moving on. Now he's got to wait and see if it will stay as we go straight to Jacob Rayne, one of our contenders at Southern Star. Oh! Rayne, way more air than he wanted to see there.
Yeah, and that's bareback riding right there. When they run the rank, wild ones in like this, and everything gets loosened up, rocking and rolling. They've got binds in that rigging, and when they bust loose, you've got nothing left.
It's going to be a no score for Jacob Rayne. With that, Tilden Hooper is our first that is safe in the bareback riding. So Hooper stays alive for that shootout round. Making our way through the bareback riding, just 3 left, and what big names they are. Garrett Shadbolt, he's been to the big stage of the American 2 times before, but his first time matching up with Angel Eyes.
Yeah, and Shadbolt, I just love to watch this guy ride. I mean, this is a big, strong horse, been the NFR, they put him in the eliminator pin there. Shadbolt, though, little guy, kind of sets up old school, he can handle him.
For the millions available here, he's yet to take any home. Shadbolt wants to switch that today. Makes the whistle, but will he make the mark?
Horse is so big and strong right there. And you can see the first half of that ride, it's all Shadbolt. He's in control of everything. He's making it happen, taking the fight to him. And then kind of the back half, or maybe even the last 2 or 3 seconds, you kind of got to start giving the edge to the horse. Just that sheer power and that forward movement of him starts taking over. Shadbolt was definitely in a fight right there.
Shadbolt, score of 78, that won't move on. But with another guy walking out means one guy walks on. Tilden Hooper, Jess Pope, both are safe. You'll be seeing them come back. That mark right now, 86 points. You got to be that or better to keep it going.
Well, Tanner Oss right here got a strong one, just up and down and strong. Oss is as good as anybody out there at handling these kind of horses. You watch this guy's chin on these really strong ones, they do not take it away from him. And when you can keep your chin tucked, that takes care of all the other little problems that can arise.
You know, and he's also riding for a chance at $2.1 million.
Yes, and this is a guy, Luke, you think back, this is a guy that's won this event before, so he's not intimidated by it. $2 million, he hasn't even let that enter his mind yet. He's just going out there and doing what he does.
But when he won it before, it was $100,000 with 88. Oss, he is in. He moves on. That shot at $2.1 million stays alive as we are down to our final one. Talk about saving the best for last. You mentioned him being the GOAT, successful in every arena he goes to. Now he's got to do that same job against King Sweats.
Well, and Luke, this is the one you were talking about, the 88, 89. Of course, isn't giving Casey much here, but Casey just, I mean, you cannot ever halt this guy's spur ride.
No,
horse is just an average day for that horse.
And we've talked about Casey for so long. He dominates any type of horse.
Yes.
Field has to be an 86 to move on. Is it going to be enough for the 6-time world champ? It is. 86 and a half does just what he needs. The champ continues at AT&T Stadium. We'll see him in the shootout.
Well, and that was all because of that spur ride. I mean, he made a 45-point spur ride on a 41.5-point horse there. So that was all Casey Field.
What a bareback riding we just saw here in Arlington, Texas, but none better than Tilden Hooper with the hops, 89 points, and with that, Hooper keeps his dreams alive in the shootout round on Championship Sunday. The American Rodeo, presented by Durango Boots, is brought to you by family-owned community coffee, strong at our roots, and by Resist All Hats. We love it every day.
At JCB, we know good enough is never good enough. Simply meeting expectations just won't cut it. We've built JCB with that in mind. Because in this life, you have to grab each new challenge by the horns. Be strong. Be bold. Be committed. You have to rise above. You have to be better.
Our coffee is more than a flavor. It's a culture, an obsession fueled with tradition and rituals that we hope will continue to support those who make our communities thrive. Morning, noon, and night. Community coffee.
Made in America. Made by hand. Made for champions. Cactus Saddlery, the choice of champions.
Preferred's line of squeeze chutes and sweeps are easy on the cow, easy on the cowboy. Preferred chutes offer the easiest operating headgate on the market, with locks guaranteed for life. They also feature an emergency side exit with lever return, removable bottom access panels, contoured drop sides, and the easiest floor adjustment in the industry. If you're in the market for equipment for your farm, ranch, or rodeo, give the good folks at Preferred a call.
Welcome back to AT&T Stadium. The contenders are here. The invited athletes are here. Everyone vying for their shot. That total possible payout today, $3.26 million. For a guy like Chase Outlaw, he could walk out of here on what he calls a casual Sunday afternoon, $2.1 million richer. You can't find this anywhere else but right here at the 9th Annual American Rodeo, now brought to you by Teton Ridge. Great to have you back with us as we move on to the tie-down roping. 7 invited athletes, 3 contenders are how we set this field. It is brought to you by Preferred. We've seen some fast times, fast hands, but we've also seen some broken barriers here, guys.
Yeah, we have, but the thing about this, Ken, they ran these calves on Friday night. They know them. They should know how they leave. This is going to be an exciting run right here for Shane Hanchey. He tied this calf in 7.9 just 2 days ago, so he knows how this calf's going to leave and how he's going to handle. But we talk about the arena. A little bit bigger, longer, wider.
But for me, Luke, Hanchey is such a competitor. Like, whatever the setup, whether you're talking about the national finals and the Thomas and Mack or move to global, like, Hanchey's always in it.
And Hanchey knows this arena well. Oh! Looked like Hanchey had it, but he comes up short here. The reigning American champ, it's going to be a no time. Surprisingly, Hanchey leaves here, not moving on.
Well, and this is my first big surprise of the day right here, Luke. This is the one that really just, I did not see that one coming.
No, and you see that rope kind of hit that calf on the side of the head. But one thing Shane did is he tried to hold it there and fish it back on. It didn't work right there, but you're exactly right. We didn't expect that out of Shane Hanchey.
Big disappointment for him, and we all know why. Well, for Caleb Smith, he hopes to turn that around. He's another past champ right here. He did it all in 2019. His best time here, 6.97. He can be quick inside AT&T.
Yeah, and he's so fluid. I mean, he ropes so good. He rides his horse so good. He scores good. This guy is the complete package when it comes to a tie-down roper, Justin.
So you're saying all of the important basic steps of calf roping, he's great at all of them.
Just like we talked, if you're great at the basics, they can't hold you down.
The three-time champ off to a great start. Smooth here. Hands, what about that? Smith send this one to the pay window, 7 and 34. That will set the bar for us here. First mark on the board. Schmidt has to be satisfied with this one.
Yeah, typical Caleb Schmidt right there. Good start. Look at him stand in that stirrup. Let that horse work for him. That way when he gets down the rope, that calf's on the end of it, he's ready to flank and then doesn't make a mistake right here.
10 times before he's nodded hit his head inside this arena. Now that makes 11. Number 12 could be for 100,000. We have to wait and see. Marty Yates, two-time champion here. This field is stacked with past American champs.
Yeah, and a guy that obviously you don't count out of anything, Justin. Has a really good calf. Webb was 7-9 on this one. And talk about going fast and winning a lot doing it. That's Marty Yates.
8-time Nfr Qualifier. Won 200,000 in this building. Can you add to it today? Yates, yes! That calf takes off left. He sails it to him. Clean flank. Couple wraps, get those hands. Wow, what a run for Yates. Not giving up, 8 and 36. That was tried.
That was amazing right here. Look at the left turn right there. And he didn't even put his blinker on.
That's Justin. Good roping right there.
That's some amazing roping for Marty Yates right there.
When you're going for 100,000 in a day, that's what you do. That's why he's a two-time American champ. Well, as for Shad Mayfield, he's done it too. 2020 world champion that same year. He walked into AT&T Stadium and left with 600,000 as a qualifier, 19 years old. Mayfield knows how to make big moments happen here.
Yeah, and you can see it right there. Getting out of the box, that rope left his hand so fast. Shad just is an amazing athlete. There's a lot of ones on there, one-time world champ, but 21 years of age, young kid that is going to dominate this field for many years to come.
Yeah, he's a little bit like LeBron James coming out of high school. I was like, well, are y'all serious? You're not supposed to be that big, that strong, that good. And that's what Shad Mayfield is.
And why not do it all the time inside this place? Mayfield.
Oh, if he got out of the barrier, this is going to be fast, but off calf strain just a little bit. He had to see those legs, how they're stacked on top of each other. Oh, man. I think he broke the barrier right there, and that's another guy like Shane Hanshey that you don't see him make these mistakes.
Right.
7.2 is what it would have been with that 10-second penalty. 17 and 2, of course, that is setting third right now as it's the third time, but you got to be clean.
I could have never, ever made it in the timed events. That whole barrier thing, because it's just so fast. Like it all is just the blink of an eye, and the difference in being out and breaking it is just.
Yeah, and when you back to the box, you have an idea. Okay, see his step. Make sure they take move forward movement, or someplace you go, you got to see shoulder to the pin. It was always a timing thing for me.
I just block out though, and he's out there in the arena.
All of the tie-down ropers we've seen so far were going for the 100,000. They were invited to come here. Still had to make their way, though. But for Ryan Ballou, he is our first contender we're seeing here. The mark right now at the top, 734. What can you do, Ballou? Has to hustle up there.
And right there, has to get that calf back to his feet. And, that's just ticks on the time clock right there. I don't know that's going to be fast enough, but it started at the barrier. He was late enough, and like we said, these calves feel that out there. They step off to the left, and then you're on a chase.
I think, and that's what set this one up, Luke, to be a little longer when that calf steps. Good job getting caught, but then he couldn't handle his slack.
Right, that curl came over, slack went over there, and when they're off over there to the left, you almost have to hold it on the right side to get them snapped around there.
It'll be a 10 flat for Ballou here. Was even hesitating a little bit on that tie, but he stuck it. Right now, Ballou is sitting at number 3. We have 4 names on the board, but we have 5 left to go. The next one we're going, junior Nfr qualifier that made his way in through winning the junior Nfr, but then advanced here because of what he did at Cowtown Coliseum. Riley Webb, a tie-down roping phenom, just 18 years old.
Yeah, this guy has roped for big money all over the United States. got it on that calf, but has to get him picked up. Now just sit down, tie him up, make your run. Great run, Riley Webb. You know, every time this guy backs in the box, people come to the fence to watch. To be that young and that good, that sure is amazing.
What a run for Webb, 7.5. In 2020, he won the National High School Championship. Now he's here doing that against the best in the world. Let that sink in.
You know, look, and you see some young guys in all the different events, and you see them win a high school title or something, you're like, yeah, but it's going to be another year or two before. Not that guy. He was ready right away.
Yes, and he's shown it everywhere from the WCRAs to the American, and that's what's so impressive.
We've already seen a handful of past American champions. Right here is another Hunter Heron. He did it all in 2016. Fastest time inside this building, 6:77. We're not in the sixes yet. Can Heron be the first to hit that mark?
Well, we went from the young, and now we're going to go with the veteran and Hunter Heron, the champion at the American. And yes, I would not be surprised to see Hunter Heron tie one in the six.
Well, this would be a great year to do that for Hunter.
And this is a rematch. He was 8-1 on this calf over in the Coliseum, but he was in a situation where he knew he could be behind the barrier a little bit and just go tie him down to advance. It's not that situation now. It's getting the start, getting it on him, and getting your hands up.
10 flat is the time to be. 4 tie-down ropers left to go. Deep breath for Heron. He's ready. 2 swings, gets it on him. Cap gets up quick, though.
Look here, guys. Can we see it? Boom.
Oh! 7-22. That shoots Heron to the top. The 11-time Nfr Qualifier, past American champ, has what he needs. Heron is in.
What a sharp loop right there. And, you know, patient with his horse, but this is what's impressive. Strings him, bobbles just, you don't even really notice it right there. Hands up, great run right there by Hunter.
Hunter Heron is the first that is safe. He'll be advancing to the shootout round. You could just tell by his demeanor. He's done that before. Well, 3 left, and another time that has done that, and again, in fact, 4-time PRCA world champ, Tough Cooper, and he is one of our Divine 9 guys. He's one of only 3 names to have appeared at every single American, but he has yet to win it all. His best, second place finish in 2015, 2021 is number 9, the marker for Cooper.
Yeah, and we've seen him in those situations where he hadn't won a rodeo, and he did San Antonio a week ago. Got it on that calf, wrapping a hooey. Let's see if he gets out of the barrier. Better get on your horse, cowboy.
Clean at the line. 7:67 is the time. That's going to put him right in the number 4 spot. Oh, Cooper's going to have to hang on and see if that's going to last. 7:67 right here for the 4-time champ.
That's a great job of getting out of the barrier. Like, you cannot stretch it any further than that, Luke. That calf kind of stumble-bobbled coming out of there. Bigger calf, too, kind of slow handling. That Tough just made quite a run.
Yeah, McBride, if you want a tie-down rope, just watch that. Just do what Tough does.
I've tried it, Kate. It is not that easy.
But the champ makes it look like it is. Marcos Costa's where we're going next, 2017 world champ.
Oh, misses the barrier. Horse kind of stumbles right there. And yeah. And, you know, we talk about missing the barrier. Those calves maybe start ducking, diving, and his horse stumbled just a little bit. Couldn't get around his neck.
Costa can't continue here. His journey is going to end inside AT&T Stadium. But now we go to John Dausch.
You know, and John has been so impressive. You know, spent a lot of time with Joe Beaver, and have a mentor like that. How can you not be a winner when Joe's in your corner?
No doubt about it. And Joe's had a huge influence. Sorry, Kate. Joe's had a huge influence on so many of these calf ropers, and especially those East Texas kind of guys and stuff. That Joe Beaver has done a lot for this sport.
Yes, he has, and he keeps doing. He's still doing these clinics and trying to help grow it.
This is what Dausch has to do. He's faster than a 7:67. He's off to a good start to do it. Is it going to be Dausch or Tough Cooper? He's making a run. Oh, bobble right there is going to cost him. I think he would have been in, guys, if it wasn't for that. Tausch unfortunately does it in 11:52. The disappointment, you don't have to say it, you see it.
Yeah, and it's just good start. Gets it on this calf fast. Watch this flank, though. How impressive is this? But right here, strings him, gathers that calf up there, and that calf just starts to push on him, and he can't get those legs stacked back up and tied up.
He was our 10th and final tie-down roper, and that means the young gun, 18-year-old Riley Webb, is moving on, has a shot at that $2.1 million. There's your marker of your top 4. Let's send it down to Anthony. He is standing by with Tilden Hooper.
89 points earns Tilden Hooper a spot in that top 4. Reigning champion, you come in with so much confidence, and it showed.
Man, I appreciate it. I love this rodeo. I mean, the crowd here at Cowboy Stadium, right down the road from my house, I love it.
You love it, but you have to love this ride. And when you lay it all on the line, and then it ends the way that it did, and you get the big score like that, moving on into that top 4, you're rolling right now.
Absolutely. That horse right there, I had to get going real fast, and then you're on the end of it the whole time. And like you said, you just got to let them roll, and man, I did, and I paid for it at the end. Thank God it wasn't a 9-second ride, but I was letting her go. It's, for all this money, you got to.
When you have a get off like that, is there any aches, is there any pains, or is the adrenaline rolling that much that it doesn't matter?
I don't know. I'll tell you tomorrow. I've never got off like that.
You've never got off like that. Perfect. Well, we can't wait to see what you do. The horses that we're going to see in that championship round, the top 4, are unreal. But let's talk a little bit about the horse that you matched up with last year, Gunfire.
Yeah, I love Gunfire. That's, you know, one of the greatest horses ever, not just the greatest horse here. I'd love another shot at him. If not, though, there's 3 more that are equally as good. It'll be a daggum good riding contest.
Let's see what Tilden Hooper can do.
Hooper, number 1, coming out of the long round as we move forward. And what about 14-month-old Tell right there? Getting to watch Dad ride for this kind of money is pretty special. It's the Steer Wrestling Next, brought to you by Durango Boots. And what a field we have here. But only 1 out of the 7 American champs all-time are competing this weekend. So a good opportunity here for a new guy to rise to the top inside AT&T Stadium as we get started with Tristan Martin.
Yeah, Tristan had a great year last year, carrying that momentum on to this year, and is having a great 2022 season as well. You know, he's invited, he has a chance at that $100,000. Good steer right here, tries a little bit. Tristan kind of gets up underneath him and then slips off his nose and went to the offboard.
And is still 4-7.
Yeah, just a walk in the park for this big guy right here, but we'll see the barrier. Decent, good start. FedEx gets him up his back, bounces him around in the hole right there, and just big swipe at the nose and missed it. That may be the difference of him moving on.
Martin makes it happen even with all of that, 4.75, so that will be our marker. He is currently leading 2022 Steer Wrestling World Standings. He's got the momentum. As for Trell Etbauer, he is one of our contenders. He's got to be hot. He's got to be fast here to move on. Top 4 going to the shootout round.
You know, and Terrell made a great run, made 2 great runs over in the Coliseum. Let's see if he can carry that on. If he gets out of the barrier there, he's fast, has a great steer. Good run, Terrell Etbauer.
Trell takes it to him, 3-64. He is clean at the line. What about that for pressure from Trell Etbauer on the rest of the field?
This Bulldog is about to get fast, Luke, it looks like.
It is, and Terrell got off the corner before the gates opened. You can see him hold his horse, just throttle through there, blows the barrier out, but doesn't panic right there. Gets his feet on the ground and makes a great run.
Etbauer focused, but you know he's excited for what he just did. Will Loomis won the 2021 Nfr average title, 43 on 10. He knows how to be quick time and time again. This is the time for Loomis.
You know, Justin, we've talked about how good Will bulldogs. He bulldogs like a small guy, but he has everything going in his favor. The size, the technique. I mean, this guy is the complete package.
Yeah, because he's a mountain of a man. I got to meet him in person last week, and yeah. That's the other thing. Look, when you talk about how technically sound he is, and when something is a little off, he can impose his will.
Yes, that is no doubt. That's Will Loomis. He knows how to get the flat falls, doing it technically correct. But like you said, if he gets in a bind, he's going to use that weight to pull him back down.
The best he's done here at the big show was fourth, and that was a year ago. Can this be the time Loomis lives on? What about that for Loomis? 3:75. That puts him number 2 right now.
What a great run, and I'm curious to see if he gets out of the barrier. We're going to see it right here. See if that pigtail breaks. No, he blows the barrier out. He kind of got off the corner too soon, had to pull on bends. Clayton has his horse, but again, so technically sound right there, Justin.
And that's great riding to have to pick up and raise up like that, but still be able to get right back down and going forward.
Yeah, because you get picked up, your feet get straight, your legs get straight, and then when you sit back down, you can lose that weight that's in your stirrups and lose a stirrup. Will did a good job riding right there.
Loomis lives for now. 7 steer wrestlers left to go. Jason Thomas comes in as a contender.
Yeah, and this steer was one of the picks over at the Coliseum. Steer's trying out through there. Whoa!
Thomas can't keep that one to get him down. He walks back to the box with a no time here. Oh, man.
You can see his right arm slip off that horn, and that's what steer rolls his head, and as he's pulling, his elbow pops off that horn. That steer didn't really want to shoot by him, so a lot of momentum, he needed more momentum right there for that steer's hind end to come by.
Back to the invited field we go. Jesse Brown making his second American appearance, 2-time Nfr Qualifier, Rookie of the Year back in 2017. A big moment right here for Brown.
Yeah, this steer, you see him step out to the left right there? Tyson did a great job getting around him, reading the play. And then Jesse Brown does what he has been doing the last couple of years. Gets his feet on the ground, gets that steer's head rocked across him, gets that nose early and finishes strong.
And it looks like this is a great set of steers, Luke, if you get them shaped up right. If you get your hands on them, get everything right, it looks like they're taking it really well.
Well, and that's how it should be. You want to make sure the best bulldogger wins, and having the most even pin of steers is going to allow that.
Brown believing in himself here, that 436, number 3, as we go now to the Yeti loop back, none other than Jacob Talley in 2021.
What a great run right here. I was so excited. Look, and Talley, when he has a good one, he's hard, you can't hardly beat him. But when he has a bad one, he's in the same situation.
But Talley, not going to repeat that success here. It's going to be a no time. Where did this go wrong?
Well, you see him catch this steer's head pretty straight through there, and that steer's horn got him behind him, just bobbled that inside horn. And, one thing about Jacob is this isn't going to affect him. He has such a strong mental attitude. This guy's going to go to the next one, and I guarantee he probably win first.
Yeah, right here, he's helping the next guy.
That guy, number 1 in the world standings a year ago, Tyler Waguespack, wins that battle in a 4.59. That right now setting number 4.
Yeah, and that steer tried on. Bridger Anderson had ran that steer over in the Coliseum, was 4-1, but misses the barrier, and then that steer steps at him a little bit. But this is something you don't really see out of Wag. See how his feet ran? He gets real stiff and straight. Now, that was a good steer. If he would have done typical Tyler Waguespack, stayed over that nose and pulled one more time, he busts him. I think he thought he was going too far down the arena and tried to speed him up.
From one of the veterans, a 3-time champ in Waguespack, we go to a 19-year-old, another one of our junior NFR champions. We already saw Riley Webb is moving on to the tie-down roping. Can Rhett Witt win it right here?
And how impressive was Rhett's run the other night? Really impressive. And he looked like a veteran. He never panicked, and he had a good steer, but you have to use those good steers to put yourself in these situations. He has another great one tonight. Mike McGinn ran this steer twice over the Coliseum, was 4-1 on him both times.
Witt wants to win, and he's got to be quick. That flag is going to be at 5:32. Unfortunately, that road is going to end right here for Witt. That slots him into that 6th position. That, of course, on the outside looking in, you got to be in the top 4 coming back. But only 2 remain. Witt had that opportunity at $2 million, as does Mike McGinn, making his first American appearance right here. He's got to be quicker than a 4.59 right now, held by Wagner's Pack.
Yeah, and Mike has had a great start to this season. Riding a good horse, has a good traveling crew. And Justin, we've talked about that. If you can get in a good crew, it makes winning so much easier.
Yeah, you know, well, I think first and foremost, that's just the expectation. And then there's also the accountability. When you're with the right people, everyone holds each other accountable, and that's the only way to get better.
Yeah, missed the barrier right here. Steers out in front of him. Mike's been bulldogging so good. Just didn't really keep pulling with that right arm. You see that steer's hind end kind of slow falling in behind, or out and around him. Unfortunately for Mike, that ain't going to move him on.
Yeah, 4.94. That's in the number 6 spot. So still that cutoff is at Wags. 4.59. There's only one left. So who's it going to be moving in? Tyler Wagner's Pack or Bridger Anderson? That's what it comes down to. Wags going for that 100,000. Anderson has his eyes on that possible 2.1 million.
Yeah, and this steer that he has, Dirk Taverner broke the barrier, was 4.59, and then Bear Pasco actually ran this steer, made a good run. Steer's going to try. He's going to pull on Bridger, but Bridger's been doing a good job staying down on those steers, but not right there. Steer lifted his head up, got Bridger rocked back. Be too long.
So Tyler will move on.
He will. Yeah, it's a 7.26 for Anderson. So that cutoff is going to stay at Tyler's 4.59.
And one thing about Tyler Wagner's Pack is he's not going to make that mistake twice in this building.
Our steer wrestling in the books. Saddle Brown coming up. Ben Anderson hopes to be one of the guys moving on.
My dad was a Redskins fan. I grew up being a Redskins fan, and my stepmom's a Cowboys fan, so it's kind of a family feud for sure. I got an awesome horse today, and you know, if everything goes to plan, we should be holding up a pretty big check at the end of it.
I'm 1,000 miles from nowhere, and there's no place I'd rather be. I'm 1,000 miles from nowhere, and time don't matter to me, 'cause I'm 1,000 miles from nowhere.
I don't do this just to make a living. It's in our blood, really. You know, I want to be the greatest that's ever done it. I'm hungry for bronc riding, you know, I love it, and I couldn't imagine doing anything else.
Ryder Wright definitely walked into AT&T Stadium with all the confidence today. The two-time champ also happens to be a two-time American champ. The most recent coming just a year ago. Can he repeat that success and become a three-time world champion here inside AT&T Stadium? We're about to find out. This is what he's done before, starting 2019.
Well, Ryder Wright is one of the greatest bronc riders that we've got to ever watch. And so you ask the question, can he do it again? Absolutely he can do it again, because You give him a great horse, and he's going to make a great ride.
Wright will be second to last to go. He wants one of those checks, but he's got to cheer on all of his buddies first. You know he will. It's a Saddle Bronc riding brought to you by Resistol as we get it started. Kick it off with Chase Brooks. He's aboard yesterday's delivery. All week long, Saddle Bronc has been some firework highlight moments. Surely, in this place, it's going to happen again.
Yeah, it looks great broncs. Calgary Stampede having broncs in here. This is a big-time chance right here. Stetson Wright was just 92 on this horse at San Antonio, so all these guys are well aware of those kinds of stats, too.
Brooks, big jumps out of the gate for yesterday's delivery. You want to set the bar. That's how you do it.
Yeah, that's a great finish right there. Right out of there. Yesterday's delivery is trying him on. Big rear out of there. Look at it snap his chin up, and he just buries it back down. A lot of effort, a lot of guts to finish like that.
Yesterday's deliveries bucked off the last two riders he's faced here at the American, but Brooks says, not this time. 88 points, and that is where we're starting. Chase has got his in the bank.
Yeah, check out the scores coming in for that bronc. Like, if you can get marked the same as that horse or above them is what you really want to be, you're looking at over 90, and that's the kind of broncs we're getting to see.
And that's the momentum you want to take in to the four-man if you make it through.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
First time matchup here as we go to our contender, Colby Chuk. He matches up with Brutus, and what a year he's been having. Currently number 5 in the world standings. One of 2 contenders we're going to see here in Saddle Bronc. He's ready.
Brutus can have a few moves right out of here and then get pretty good.
Chuk has wanted it all week long. He's fought and clawed his way to get here.
Yeah, and it looked like right there, Justin, he couldn't get in rhythm, get in time, get his feet set. And obviously the judges seen that. They're going to dock him the points.
Yeah, you're definitely going to see him dock him right here. And just kind of these moves and a little different timing, and takes him, 4 jumps or so to get going, and he has a good finish here, but kind of the start in the middle was just not as good as what you're probably going to need to be.
Chuk will have to wait. And what a field he is about to wade through. Wyatt Casper has been 88 on Watch the Night Before. Can he repeat that success on the biggest stage?
Hey, Casper's really aggressive right here in this ride. This is what you got. This is what Tilton Hooper was talking about in his interview after the bareback ride. Like, just because there is a move or something's trying to get away from you, don't mean you can hang that jump. You've got to let them come, and he does right away. You could see he lets his feet come early and then just keeps trying to fire them at him. Really a good job.
Casper just created a bit of chaos on the leaderboard. 89 points. That sends Wyatt straight to the top with that one. Look at that stock score. Had the horse he needed.
Yeah, and the guys that you see with that mentality, that they're going to make it happen no matter what, those are the ones you're going to see be successful here.
He was a previous American champ, but Tegan Smith, first time here inside AT&T Stadium. He's got Miss Ellie.
Hey, this is another great bronc ride right here. Really, really good horse. Strong, big circle, and Tegan never weakened. I'm be curious to see what they do with these scores. Takes one time in the kennel.
So is Smith, 85 his score. That right now has him in the number 3 position.
It's a darn good ride.
First time matching up together. Tegan has to see if it's going to pay off. As for Leighton Greene, he's getting set aboard American hats. 4 rides so far. Chuk right at the marker with that 77.
Got to visit with Leighton a little bit before the rodeo started, and he's just so pumped about all these great broncs, you know, because he feels like he's got a shot no matter what you get on.
Green's got to go, 5th time at the American. But can this be the first time he leaves with a big check?
Good luck, judges. I mean, you know, great broncs, great guys, and they're going at it.
Well, just like you said, these guys have to go at it. They got 4 spots to get to that money, that big money that we're talking about. The 2.1 for the contenders, or the, the 100,000 for the invitees.
And Greene gets it. 87.5 for the young gun. You've talked about the horsepower all week long, and it seems to be elevated even more as we get here to Championship Sunday. This one, Little Sugar, Brody Crest, is the one that's lucky enough to draw him.
Yeah, big rematch here for Crest, too. This horse has been in the finals a bunch, been in the eliminator pin. He's a handful, but Brody Crest is one of the best guys to come along in a long time.
Has to be an 85 or better. Can Crest compete? Oh, no. Crest down in 4 and 26. Did not expect to see that as he limps out of the arena.
You watch this buck off right here, too, and how far Brody Crest goes flying. I mean, everything's good until it's not, and then boom.
Crest not going to compete in that shootout round. Not the break he wanted to see. 4 left to go. You could see where that mark is at the leaderboard, right under number 4. So we go to Dawson Hay. He's matching up with Indian Burn. First time matching up so far, but based on the marks we just saw, what a one to have. Big time horse right here. And all the guys were telling me, if you keep your saddle from running back and wants to run back on this horse, see, they got to run up there, and it's just got to be able to stay there, because you give Dawson Hay, like, this guy's real flashy to watch anyway. He's a little bitty guy. This could be huge. Dad Rod Hay right there with them. Dawson does it so far. Can he do it all the way? Finish strong.
That looked like...
He says, yes, I can, right here inside AT&T Stadium. How big for Hay?
He looks so small on the back of that horse. That's a huge horse, and talk about a stud ride from Dawson.
That's a monster horse right there. Saddle stays up, and he's trying to get there every jump.
And Hay has it. 89.5. Personal record for Hay. Took the hit, but who cares? He's moving on to the shootout round for the first time in his career.
Spencer right here, getting it going over the top, championship.
You know, Justin, watching that horse compared to the others, I didn't think that horse had the day. We'll see if the judges are going to give him an option, but you see that horse never really wanted to kick.
Right. Yeah, I was still trying to get over that last one, and that one was getting going there. I'm hearing that, I think they're going to give him an option for a re-ride, Luke.
They are, so he'll have that option, right? Will be coming back.
And that's what you want to see. You know, when the stakes are this high, I mean, I don't care if it's a $500 added rodeo. I love to see it. When a guy doesn't have a chance to win something, you give him another shot.
So with that re-ride, there's still 3 outs left as we go to right or right. The reigning champ right here inside this building. What a ride. Come along. It's the horse.
This one's hard to get them back to the front end from your kennel all the time. Not giving it, there's not much breakover. There's not any help there. And Rider Right is so good at being able to make a great ride on horses. But you see how flat her back stays, and just not, that kick is just kind of out. Never breaks over and gives you any help.
Surprising moment here in Saddle Bronc riding. Rider Right, 85 points. So the reigning American champ will not be moving on.
Yeah, that was a tough horse to make a great ride on.
Will the top two are safe? As we move now to the contender we highlighted earlier in the show, Ben Anderson. He is aboard Cash Deal. What a big opportunity for the 22-year-old.
Yeah, old Cash Deal from Dakota here. The old ass. And look, this one can be really good or really hard. And, you know, and Ben's going to help to determine that. I think if he gets a good start, everything breaks off in time, this could be great.
Anderson has to be big here. 87.5 is the mark.
Hey, this Ben Anderson,
he's a real deal.
Riding outstanding.
He's happy with it, but the question is, will he be happy with the score?
Yeah.
He should be. 88 points right now. That is number 4, but remember, we still have one rewrite to go. He has to sweat it out through one of the rights to see if he'll move on.
Yeah, that's a great job from Ben, though. He's got to wait out Spencer Wright, but this is, you know, I was talking about the start, if he got it going, and he does, sets his feet every jump. You see those toes turn out when he sets them. They hit for a second, then back to his candle every jump.
Ben Anderson, that 88 sitting right now, tied for number 3. Well, as we go to barrel racing after the break, young gun Ocean Valou is living her dream right now.
It's huge, but if you just look at the barrel, it's just like an outside pin. I've been like cheering for those girls on the TV. Competing here today with them is going to be awesome.
Preferred's line of squeeze chutes and sweeps are easy on the cow, easy on the cowboy. Preferred chutes offer the easiest operating headgate on the market, with locks guaranteed for life. They also feature an emergency side exit with lever return, removable bottom access panels, contoured drop sides, and the easiest floor adjustment in the industry. If you're in the market for equipment for your farm, ranch, or rodeo, give the good folks at Preferred a call.
As rural Americans, we have a unique understanding of and connection to the land. Whether we ranch, farm, log, or simply recreate, what we do today determines our tomorrow. As stewards of the land, it's our duty to ensure that our children and grandchildren can enjoy the outdoors in a similar manner that was afforded us. Join the Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation and ensure the future of elk, other wildlife, their habitat, and our hunting heritage. Visit rmef.org today.
It's in our blood. It's in our sweat. It's in our genes. We are Cavenders, and this is how we live.
All across America, hardworking farm and ranch families grow the food that feeds us and form the backbone of countless communities. As a proud American company, we're here to say thanks with Polaris Ag Advantage, an exclusive program to support America's farmers and ranchers in recognition for all you do. Learn more at polarisagadvantage.com.
Welcome back to AT&T Stadium. Man, that's fun to say. And when we're talking rodeo and $3.26 million on the line, take a look at the leaderboard as we get set for the rewrite for Stetson Wright. Now, Ben Anderson, he is actually safe, guys. He is in a tie right there at that number 3 and 4 spot. But because of his big 90-point ride we saw earlier in the week, Anderson is in. He'll be our 7th contender moving on.
Yeah, and you can see all these rights helping each other out. Spencer about to get another shot at it. Riders right there on the horse's head. Stetson back there making sure his back cinch is ready. And look, if you're Spencer, you know exactly what you got to do. In the timed events, I feel like that's a thing. In the rough stock, it never matters. You go at them with everything that you got and try to be as many points as you can.
Wright will it here aboard his re-ride. Blue Chip with the big moves right across the arena floor.
And starts out kind of wonky and then got really good. The first 2 wasn't much and then got really good for the last 6.
Well, it started, horse kind of jam up in the front of the chute, he doesn't waver right there. He stays hooked and getting after it.
Yeah, didn't kick one time, but then they got it going and got really good.
Had to be better than 88, 87 and a half. Anything he could have done for that extra half point, or is that
I just think that horse missing that one jump, not kicking there, I think that's the difference. You know, if that horse kicks right there, he can hit him one more time, and then you're looking at possibly tying or giving a chance anyway.
So the 2014 world champ will not be moving on. Spencer Wright walks out of the arena. That wraps up our saddle bronc. We move on now to the barrel racing. And we're gonna start with the Polaris Need for Speed, brought to you by JCB. This is going to be our Teton Ridge Shadow Tracer. You're going to see here Otto and Wagyu's pack going at it together. This was 1st to 11. This is how close it was inside Cowtown Coliseum. You see Molly Otto pulling forward there. That's it. That was it, guys.
And that looked like just a horse race at the end, and one was faster than the other.
It was, and there was a little slip on both of those horses. You know, this ground right here, they got it prepared well. These barrel racers ought to be really happy with the ground they're on.
What a stacked field it is in the barrel racing, brought to you by Polaris. We're going to start with Tasha Welsh. Why not take another look at this? We mentioned close. It's close around the first. Going to the second is where Otto really gets around it quicker there. But then Wagyu's pack with the cleaner line to the third, and then it's all in that run home.
That was my point. The Sorrow can just flat out fly.
Yeah, and we've seen, like I said, the slip on the back from Sarah's horse right around the third. Cost her some time,
right,
but made it up on the home stretch.
We're going to start with a contender at the top of the ground and bring in Anthony here as we go to Tasha Welsh.
Yeah, Say Smashing Fame is the beautiful stallion that she is aboard. The sister-in-law of Amanda Welsh, an invitee who earned her way into this championship Sunday. So the Welsh family has two opportunities. Well, let's see what Tasha is able to do. Very first time competing at the American. What an opportunity. A $2.1 million chance for this stallion named Thor and Tasha Welsh.
Makes it clean around the first. One to fight there just a bit around the second, but what a clean barrel she had. Checks him up there going to the third. Makes her way home. Welsh wills it all the way. Crosses 15.187. That's where we're starting the barrels.
I really like this horse. You know, this is a big, huge pin, and you watch how well behaved that horse stays throughout that entire ride. He never gets rude at the bridle. Whatever she asks for, he gives to her.
Well, you talk about the jockey on their back. That has a lot to do with it. The trust in your horse and the horse knowing your positioning, going to the barrels, going around the barrels, and you've seen it right there.
This next jockey knows how to do it. Reigning world champion Jordan Briggs.
Yeah, and how impressive has she been the last year, you know, and coming into this season and getting around those barrels good. You see her kind of shift her weight over there, around the third, on her way home. We had a chance right here.
Yeah, Briggs with a big move, 14.909, so we got into that 14 mark, Anthony. He's speechless, as we all are, when we see Briggs at her best. Now, what is unique this year about the setup here at the American? The barrels are set at an angle. They're coming down the alley. Often you see the bulls coming through, and because of that, not what we've seen the last 8 years inside here, but gives them quite a run home. Well, here we go. You've seen her. We've cheered for her. We fell in love with her. It's Ocean Valou, 16 years old. For her horse, Heaven's Guy. Wide there around the first. Can they make up time? Clean on the second. It's going to have to be a dogfight home.
Yeah, and this horse can really run, but I think too many mistakes, you know, just too wide on a couple of those barrels and not able to make that kind of time up, even with the blistering speed.
Yeah, and you see it right there, coming into it pretty darn hot, didn't get it picked up, and little stumble right there, and that can throw those horses, you know, throw their momentum into that big wide turn right there.
And completely different setup than Cowtown Coliseum, where we mentioned how close the barrels are here. That barrel's sitting on the 30-yard line in the middle of the football field. And could be tough for those horses to see as they're making their way in from what would be the end zone of the football field as well. This guy's is Molly Otto. She was coming in #1 out of that contender round. You just saw her in our Teton Ridge Shadow Tracer.
Yeah, and this is like just setting them up in the middle of a pasture.
Exactly.
You know, there's no that wall's not there to help you to let things know to slow down. We need to be checking up here. It's wide open spaces.
Yeah, and you go to the the other extreme in Cowtown Coliseum where they just came from,
right?
Where everything was packed in tight. They didn't even get to see the first barrel till they got into the arena.
Yep.
McBride, if your pasture looks like this with any kind of LED screens, I want to come to your place.
Yeah.
Charlie Johnson, next cowgirl to go.
Yeah, I love this horse. A tie-down roping horse, an amazing horse. They won some tie-down senior AQHA shows at Rodeo Houston. Now Charlie Johnson, the wife of legendary tie-down roper Justin Moss, is putting together a run.
Johnson, 15.087. Right now, that is setting #2 just behind Jordan Briggs.
And that, I think everything that you had been seeing leading up to that run lets you know just how great of a run that was, Luke.
Yeah, for sure. This horse picked up the barrels, got around them, and, you see the tight turn coming around the corners. We haven't seen that in the last couple runs. And, talk about the jockey and the horse. That was that was a great dance right there for that.
First time for these horses and jockeys running in this setup inside AT&T Stadium. Hayley Kinsell, she's getting ready here. 3-time American champ, 3-time world champ, getting ready for another one. But in the past, Cavender's Ride of the Round, she's been so successful inside this building.
Well, and Hayley Kinsell has been successful everywhere she's ever competed, Luke, and that's why I'm always such a fan of hers and cheer for her, because I love to cheer for people I feel like are going to win. And you can count on Hayley Kinsell with that.
Yeah, there's no doubt in her mind.
Right.
No matter what horse she gets on, she just has that mentality, and that's why she's so successful.
Kinsell, that was her 2019 run. Much more to come on Kinsell as we get closer to her run. Well, join the American action by signing up for Ride to Glory, the game. Predict the scores and times of the sport's greatest athletes, and you could win incredible prizes, including a 2022 Polaris Sportsman. It's free, easy, and there's nothing to download. Just go to ridetoglory.com or scan the QR code to play. Kinsell would be my first pick on any team, on any game.
No, she wouldn't, because I'd already have her on my team.
No, because I downloaded the app first.
I have her phone number, and she said I could pick her first.
She takes my calls.
This fight will continue, but Amanda Welsh is going to take the fight right now in the barrels, and we see it once again, guys. Welsh was making a run going towards that first, and again, it's sitting literally in the middle of what would be the football field underneath this dirt. Wide first turn for Welsh. She heads home. She'll cross the line 18.549.
Yeah, and Luke, I would be curious, if the other ladies are seeing this and are kind of reevaluating their game plan of just blasting in here guns a-blazing, or saying, hey, you know what, I'm gonna throttle back a little bit, make sure I hit the first one, give my horse a little confidence, and then turning loose.
Not Devin Young. She's rolling at him right here, our junior Nfr qualifier. And look at this, getting around that first barrel good, a little bit wide, going off the back of the second. Let's see if she can get around this third clean.
And she does. That horse's ears are pinned the whole time. Hunting for those barrels. Our 15-year-old crosses the line. Young, 14.961. Our young gun delivers.
I love it.
She did it. She's in.
What a reaction. That's what it's all about right there.
And look at this horse just searching, hunting for those barrels. Then Young, just perfect balance, aggressive as possible, makes her way home. What a run. Devin Young will never forget. We're going to see our 15-year-old in the shootout round. Speaking of young guns, from 15 to 18 we go. Laura Moat watched her dad in this same building. She said, I want to be there too.
Yeah, just got around that first and then got wide, and she's still going at him. And let's see, you know, a lot of things could happen right here in the barrel race, but I think that's going to be a little too long, Justin.
Yeah, a lot can happen, but not enough for that one to be fast enough to make it.
At 16 and 52 for Laura Moe.
And this sets it up, you know, that it cleaned up as the run went, but man, when especially in the barrel racing where this thing gets decided by hundredths of a second, just any bobbles can be so costly.
2 left to go, and here comes the 3-time world champion Hayley Kinsell. A bit right around that first, but watch her cowgirl and jockey up around these next 2. Kinsell has to beat a 15.187. Can the 3-time champ do it? She's headed home. It's a dogfight. Kinsell, just misses it. 15.339 for Kinsell.
And it's his first barrel. It's the first barrel right there, and you can tell Old Yeller was wound for sound, ready to rock, and that was a sweet barrel there, though.
2 great barrels, but that first money barrel is the one that cost her right there getting back.
Kinsell not moving on this year. She's just outside that cut line. Shelly Morgan, look how tight she is around the first, guys. Morgan makes the first, picks up on the second. Clean here, could look good for Morgan, but just how fast will it be? Shelly sends her home. 14.941. Shelly Morgan is safe.
Well, last girl to go. You know what you have to do, but she came in going at him. She did come in going at him, going hard, going fast. What a great horse right here. Picked up that first barrel. Shelly did a good job getting around. You can see that second one was kind of wanting to shoulder into it. She picked him back up.
So Shelly Morgan makes it in, but it's the young gun, Devin Young, at the top of the leaderboard, and what a story that would be. She's the 8th contender moving on, and Young keeps those dreams alive.
15 years old and has got a shot and has got the partner to do it, Kate.
$2 million on the line for Young.
When you step into a new day, determined, committed, willing to take on whatever's asked of you, that new day is yours to own, yours to shape, and yours to be proud of. Ram, J.D. Power's #1 brand in new vehicle quality.
There's been countless miles, early mornings, and more late nights than you can remember. It's the spirit of excellence that drives you with one goal in mind. Whether you're chasing the dream or working to stay on top, it's all the same. Because the desire to be a champion never sleeps.
There is no championship Sunday like this in rodeo. $3.26 million on the line. The champs are here, the contenders are here, all vying for, searching for, wanting their portion of that huge payout. And today's the day we find out. What a day it's already been as we make our way through our round of 10. It's a team roping coming your way next, and the field is already set. Top 4 are going to move on to that shootout round. In the past, guys, the team roping inside AT&T Stadium has been all over the place. This brought to you by Smarty. 36% of the time, we've seen no times, but that's because they're going for it.
Yeah, they're going for it, and then you take into account the arena, and I can't say that enough. The size, the shape, these steers, they miss the barrier, steers going to step left, heelers late, they're going to step right. There's a lot of things that can happen.
But when it works, it is nasty in
here.
And that one should have worked right there, Justin. He got a great start and just couldn't get it around the steer's horns.
Nelson Wyatt, Tyler Worley, they were contenders coming into Sunday. That's a loop that Nelson is needing back.
Well, and you can see right as he delivered, that steer stepped over to the left at him a little bit. I don't know that he was expecting that to happen, and you know, unfortunately it happened in the spot to win, have a chance to win first.
But it's not the only contenders. There's 4 teams in this field vying for that $2.1 million possible payout. Brock Hansen, Clay Futrell, first time in here. What a handle, but legs them. Will it be enough? Would have been a 4.09, 9.09. But we've seen crazier things happen here in the team roping. Hansen, Futrell have to wait and see what the future holds.
And Justin, we've talked about Brock Hansen's head loop. How crisp is that?
That guy's been hopping them off for the money every time.
And as they wait, they're going to wait and watch guys like this. Clay Smith, Jade Corkhill. They've got the championships. They've got the experience. Are those 5 gold buckles collectively going to turn into an American run right here?
And they're matching. This is what team roping should look like.
The ropes, the shirts, the hats.
You know, steer must be messing around the chute, turning his head. Clay wants to make sure he has the best shot at this, make sure the steer's looking down the chute, gates open, he leaves.
For how successful they've been in every team roping arena, they've both only left AT&T Stadium with $15,000 respectively. But what about this? Not one great shot, but 2, 3.86. That is their best time inside AT&T Stadium, and what a run. That is team roping.
Hey, that's a great head loop, but watch that. He has a lot of rope out there, and he hops that steer off nice and lets Jade throw his trap under there, gets that tip through, big open trap. Great run right there.
I don't know if anyone was planning to go to school on a Sunday, but that's what you get.
Hey, a lesser healer would have panicked and wanted to take another swing right there. He just said, no, I can do this.
Well, Duckskin, Egaskiza, Travis Graves, can they follow it up? Yes, they can. Are they clean? Uh-oh. He's looking to see 3.9.
Yeah, another great run. Misses the barrier a little bit right there, but handles his rope so well. And look at tight head loop. A lot of rope out there. But Travis Graves, to me, is probably, in my opinion, one of the very best that has ever threw a heel loop.
Yeah, and been that way for a long time.
Egaskiza was looking up, had me second guessing. They are cleaning, so 3.9 as we go now. Andrew Ward, Buddy Hawkins. Hello, Hawkins. 3.61. They're not just going to school, they're putting on a clinic.
Hey, these guys are teeing off. This set of steers, they brought them. These guys are wearing them out.
In the words of my good friend Billy Bugnick, hello, loper. These steers are leaving, and they are loping out through there and letting these guys show off.
Yep.
Ward Hawkins moved to the top of the leaderboard, 3.61. Oh, yeah, Ward and Hawkins happy with that one. We continue to get quicker and quicker. 4 teams on the board already 3 times in that 3-second mark. Can Corey Kidd and Lane Mitchell follow that up?
Yeah, right here, that steer actually stayed pretty straight, but look at that heel shot.
And that's what we were talking about, though, right? Starting this event, when it does work, and like they've given them the steers to let it work, it can get ridiculously fast is how good these guys are.
This is as good of a team roping as we've seen right here, and these guys are getting on. Get that flank shot, get your rope a little tighter, but you got to be sure you're quick on the dally.
Kidd and Mitchell deliver a 3.99. Right now that is setting in number 4. So you got to be a 3 to have a shot at moving on. Let's send it to Anthony.
Yeah, the steers that you've seen have all been pretty evenly paced. This one, they are expecting to try that much harder. They're going to have to work if they want to get into that top 4.
Oh. And Bubba Buckaloo, Joseph Harrison will just be on the outside looking in. 4-29. Many years at the American, that would have been plenty to get onto that shootout round, but not here.
Yeah, and I don't know how you make a better run than that on him, Luke. I mean, that.
No, I was just going to say that. That steer to me tried a little bit more than the rest of them, and Joseph Harrison took the only shot he could take to try to speed it up, and that was a great run. But we talk about the steer you have drawn. He just tried a little bit too much.
3 teams left to go, so the top 2 are safe. Ward, Hawkins, Smith, Courthill, they'll be coming back. Will Clay Tryon, Jake Long be joining them there? The American record, guys, is 3-32. We're getting close to that. Can it be broken today? Long and Tryon, they're going to try for that.
Well, and we tried to prepare people at the top that to get ready for this level of competition, because guys are going to be pushing the boundary.
Yeah, right. Oh. Mrs. Barry, the steer stepped off left, only got 1 horn, and just he's trying to be fast because you have to move on.
Yeah, Tryon tried everything he could, went for the reach, didn't pay off. No time for Tryon and Long. Now, perhaps no one more successful in the team roping in this environment than Caleb Driggers, 3-time American champ, teaming up with Junior Nogueira, who's been just as successful. Let's go to Anthony.
Luke, you know just as well as I do that there's always one animal in the pen of livestock that everybody wants. Well, guess what? 3-time American champs, Caleb Driggers, Junior Nogueira, they have the steer that everybody wanted. The ball is definitely in their court and in their favor.
And that American record I told you of 3-32, this is the team that set it in 2018 when they won it all here for 100,000. Can they break it out, their own record?
They got a chance right here.
Ow!
Wow, great run. And we talked about that in other events. When you have the great one, you have to use them, and that is what makes you great.
What happened? I blinked.
Driggers, Nogueira, they know what to do. 3-51 puts the American champs at the top. They're coming back in the shootout round. What a run.
You know, I was thinking about dusting my rope bag off and getting my ropes out, maybe roping a little bit, but after watching this, I don't think so.
You better go to the number 10.
I sure hope you've had your popcorn, because there is no team roping like what you're seeing right here. Nowhere to go for this kind of money. Cody Snow and Wesley Thorpe have to be quick. How quick are they? 3:46, guys. That's the fastest time we've seen all day. They go to the top. Snow, Thorpe needed it. They did it. They move on.
And that California kid scored great, rides great horses, but talk about his partner on the other end, Wesley Thorpe. Rides in good position. No crossfire rule in this, and Wesley sets that one down.
So you're telling me a 3-9 is on the outs? That's not even going to get a whiff of it.
I'm telling you that a 3-second run plus one more 3-second run in the shootout round, in 6 seconds, these teams could be walking home with 100,000. What a team roping we just saw. So much more to come. You know who that pumped up? Chase Outlaw. He's got his eye on $2 million. He's next.
Oh, here we go again, yeah.
I'm here to do one thing, and that's to make my kids, my wife, my family, the state of Arkansas, but more importantly, myself, somebody to be proud of.
Let's do it one more time, yeah.
The name of the game is riding your bull, just with a little bit more bigger outcome.
Here we go again. Oh.
He's out, got it on him. Go on, Trev. Big chance right here. Flank him like you're big time. Put it on him. Here's a big go for Trevor Brazil.
The man is ageless, father of 3, number 1 in the city of neons and nylon.
Ever think when you decided to retire from full-time rodeo, you'd seal it up with 14 all-around world championships, 71 go-round wins, and nearly rewriting every rule and record in PRCA?
When you step into a new day, determined, committed, willing to take on whatever's asked of you, that new day is yours to own, yours to shape, and yours to be proud of. Ram, J.D. Power's #1 brand in new vehicle quality.
I love every bit of what I do. Something about getting into a tractor early in the morning.
It's in your blood, is what it is. I've always wanted to be a cowboy.
You have to be tough, you have to be gritty, no matter what it is doing outside, you have to get the job done.
When you love what you do, you never work a day in your life, and that's how we feel.
Learn to appreciate the simple things that make you happy.
We are Acrisure, a company comprised of the sharpest entrepreneurs and the highest level of tech talent. We've already built the fastest growing, most profitable insurance broker. Now we're reinventing financial service distribution and growing our offering. Insurance, reinsurance, asset management, real estate services and cyber services solutions, and more. Human intelligence plus artificial intelligence. Acrisure, powered by exceptional partnerships and technology.
Can you believe what we've seen so far on Championship Sunday inside AT&T Stadium? Well, you better, because the competition has been that good. As we go to our final event is the bull riding presented by Acrisure. 5 invited, 5 contenders. That is who is coming back in our round of 10. Top 4 moving on to the shootout round as we get right to it. Creek Young is our first invited. Finished 2021 5th in the PRCA World Standings. First time matching up with Warcry.
Yeah, we got a good set of bulls. The set of bulls are, you see qualified rides, if they have their day, you're going to see them be from 88 to 92, right in that range.
Young, yes sir, to the right, waste no time.
Really good job by Creek Young here. This is kind of a taller, lankier young guy and just doesn't have a panic button.
Young, though, holding on to that left arm.
Well, you hate to see him leaving out of there like that, because this is just a great job away from his hand. In this era of bull riders, guys tend to struggle going this direction. Not Creek Young. Stays loose, doesn't clamp down on the back of a bull. That's a great way to start.
Average ride score on Warcry is 88 points. Well, Young delivers just that, 88 points. We'll keep you updated on his health as he looks good to come back to that shootout round, but 9 to go. And none bigger in the PRCA world than 7-time champ Sage Kinsey. He's got full throttle.
Big matchup here. Kinsey, look, this guy's been having a great start to his season. We know about his career. It's been the best the PRCA has ever seen since Donnie Gay. And Sage Kinsey, though, I've seen him earlier. He looks great. He's fit, really good shape, but he's back. If your upper body gets back away from your hand, I don't care if you've got 17 gold buckles, it's not going to matter, and Sage knows it.
Kinsey can't go the distance here. He's off full throttle in 3.13. It's going to be a no score for the 7-time world champ. Not happy about that one.
No, he's not, but look, he's won all these titles. He knows how to do it, and he knows one just little mistake, got his upper body back, no shot.
He's won in so many arenas. In this one, he's done it twice in the American format before. Without Kinsey in the field, guys like Braden Richardson we're seeing come up need to make a move in a big way here. His first American Finals appearance.
Yeah, and Braden, I like him a little better on bulls going to the right because of that right there. And look, this bullpen, we talked about it. Yes, they can be good scores like the one we've seen from Creek Young, 88. But you have got to do stuff right. If you get your head picked up, stuck into your hand, you are not going to be there the next jump.
Deals up a world of hurt for Richardson. It's going to be a no score for Braden Richardson. 3 have gone so far, only 1 score on the board. And that's the 88 we saw of Creek Young.
Well, this guy right here can get things going back in the right direction. Dalton Castle, Kate, we've been watching him the last couple of years in the PBR, and last night at the Global Cup made a huge ride against a bull that was unridden. He's got his hands full right here in Wild Onion. You can see the buck-off percentage, 91%. Castle, though, Luke, doesn't care about that kind of stuff.
You know, and watching him, he rides him jump for jump.
Yes, sir. And
he's also a contender, has a chance at that 2.1.
Oh, just gets ahead of it, though.
Dalton Castle goes down 2.12 aboard Wild Onion. A quick nod and a quick exit there for Castle. Castle has been so on fire. That not what we've been seeing from the 23-year-old, but that bull has the proven buck-off percentage. So Durango Boots, wreck of the round. Take us through this one, Jeff.
Well, it's a great ride right here. I mean, really, really good. But when he gets off, it's just a bad landing, and you see his free arm. That does not look good. I am no doctor and never will be, but I can tell that doesn't look good right there.
We'll keep you updated and hope he will be ready to go, because right now that 88 score of Young's is the only one on the board. Parker Bredding has every plan on adding to that leaderboard, and he's got to do it against Casper.
Yeah, and Parker Bredding's been riding good for quite a while now. And see, 4 times he's been to the NFR, and I was really impressed with him this last NFR, Luke. Really got things going, and I think rides a lot off of confidence, like a lot of bull riders do. When you've got confidence, you don't second guess it, you just go with what's happening.
Yeah, he showed it, like you said, last year at the NFR. Coming into these big situations, he has risen to the occasion, and that confidence has so much to do with that.
First time at the big show. Bredding away from his hand, but then Casper takes a moment to sit.
You know, this is going to be a re-ride, but I don't think I would have jumped off of him. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
I would have held on to him and just let him sit there till he got back up on his feet and got my score. Because now he's going to get a re-ride. Make no mistake about it. He's going to get on another one. But I'm going to hold on to him right here, get my low score, and then have my option for the re-ride.
Would you have kept that score, though?
No, I wouldn't have, but at least you'd had that option.
You always got to keep your options open.
Some guys out there would have, though.
Chase Outlaw. We've been cheering for him since he first walked into Cowtown Coliseum, and it's easy to do so. The fight, the battle, it's been there every time with Outlaw. Now it's Trail of Tears, his dancing partner.
Yeah, this one's going to stack up right here. Sometimes he turns back too close and goes back left.
Outlaw forward, though. Raised up, and he's off in 1.96.
Yeah, you can see Chase pretty tender getting up there. And look, this is a guy that's just coming back off of a growing injury, and he's feeling it again. And one like that, you've got to get so strong in your chest, because if not, that is going to be the outcome. They get you a little bit top heavy, and there is no going back.
It's going to be a no score for Outlaw, grimacing in pain as he walks out there. Ends his trip at AT&T Stadium this year. Dinner Barbosa, wow, has he been on fire in this building so far, Justin? Gosh, not what we want to see from Outlaw.
No, and that's been the story the last 3 years for Outlaw. It's just been injury after injury. And he's so darn tough, he's trying to gut it out.
Well, that's just the cowboy spirit, the mentality we have. You want to win, you do it whether you're feeling good or you're hurt, and that's Chase Outlaw to a T.
No doubt about it.
So far, this Pin of Bulls has taken down everyone but Creek Young. If we do not have 4 scores, it will go off buck-off time. So right now, Parker Bredding would be setting the highest on buck-off time. Dinner Barbosa, believe, though, he has every intention of hearing that whistle.
Yeah, Scary Larry from Chad Berger and his crew. And look, Dinner's going to know this bull. He's going to know. He's going to watch the videos. They get to see Chad's bulls a lot. every weekend, basically, so this is a good matchup for Dinner.
Something Dinner doesn't like right here, though, leaning a bit, it looks like.
Yeah, but he's got his leg down. He's good to go.
He's nodding. He's ready. Into his hand for Dinner, just the way he likes it. Scary Larry stops there just for a moment, but Dinner does what he needs.
Yeah, and let me tell you something about these Brazilian guys. We see them a lot in the PBR. They come for a better life in bull riding. They're not just coming out here to win a buckle. They come for a better life. And when you give them a chance at $2 million, you're going to see this kind of effort right here. This is the kind of effort that it takes to ride bulls, and Dinner Barbosa put it out.
79.5. That moves Barbosa into that #2 spot. Looking good for the shootout round. One more to go to wait and see. You see in gold, contender next to his name. You mentioned it. $2.1 million alive for him. It is also alive for the 2018 PBR World Champ, Kayiki Pacheco. He's aboard Jive Turkey.
Handful right here for Pacheco. Guys put up big numbers on this bull. The majority of those guys are left-handed. Pacheco right-handed, and that's not to say he can't do it, but he can't make little mistakes. He's going to have to get his back straight, tuck his chin, not his head, and then he's got a chance.
Right now that mark, 79.5. 2 scores on the board, and Young and Barbosa, 4 bull riders left to go. Pacheco going to make sure everything is perfect here, getting the help of 3-time PBR champ Silvano Alves on the back of the chutes.
Oh, yeah, he's helping him right. This is just like me and my dad when I was about 4 getting on calves. He'd reach in there and help me take my ride. Get up.
Oh, away from his hand. And the world champ comes down, gets knocked on the way. 3-49. It's going to be a no score here. Well, Pacheco came to play, but he won't get to play anymore today. A guy with a big opportunity here, and a last-minute opportunity is Stetson Wright. Anthony talked to him at the top of the show, got in because Kai Hamilton is sidelined with injury. This is your Mac Files presented by Resistol. He's done it before.
Well, this is a great bull and top shelf right here. You see him bucking off Brennan Elder right there. Around to the left, likes the left, can step ahead a little bit. Stetson has had big success on this bull, been over 90 on him. This is a great opportunity for Stetson. Got into the American here because Kai Hamilton got hurt last night at the Global Cup. We wish Kai a speedy recovery, and Stetson's going to step in his place and have a chance to knock one out of the park.
5-time world champion. He loves big moments. He loves high-pressure situations. To wake up and hear you get a shot at that 100,000, come and play inside AT&T Stadium, we better believe Stetson Wright is going to take advantage aboard Top Shelf.
Yeah, you get a shot at the 100,000, and guess which bull you've got? Top Shelf. And the best thing to do when you got a good rematch is put it out of your mind, ride him like you've never seen him before.
Into his hand, going left. Top Shelf stays. And stays strong, too. Stetson Wright, right there with him. He said, AT&T, how do you like that one on a Sunday?
Well, Stetson Wright is just all guts. Like, you watch this back. This bull starts to get him raised up. He'll snap his head up, and just when you think he can't hold on any longer, he just buries his chin, finds the front end again, and finds a way to finish. Great effort from Stetson Wright.
Wright with the best score we've seen all day, 88.5. That smiles because he is coming back in that shootout round. Well, Mason Taylor has a shot at that $2.1 million pot of gold, but to get to the end of that rainbow, it's going to take some big rides. Can he do it aboard Jack Meadows Grand Theft?
Yes, he can. This is a great bull around the left, steps ahead a little bit. I don't like his hand being down to the right that far. Maybe with these Brazilian ropes these guys use, it will work back towards the middle. Got to stay forward with him, Mason. Nope.
Oh.
I've only ever seen 2 guys ride that bull, Lockwood and Lemming, both left-handed, and it was all they could do.
Mason Taylor down in 2 and 55. And guys, as we watch this back, I'm just getting word that Creek Young, who put up that 88 aboard war cry, he is out. We saw him walking out holding that left arm, and he is not going to be coming back in that shootout round. Big surprise there.
Yeah, well, it wasn't a big surprise to me once I seen that replay and seen his arm. That was
shocker would be the right word.
Yeah.
Man. So with Creek Young being out, even though he sits number 2 on the leaderboard, that now puts us where we have 2 qualified rides moving on, and we go to Parker Brady. Oh!
And Parker just leaves bad here. Like, he's raised up weird, kind of leaves, and then that bull has some funk to him. And when you're out of position a little bit and one has some moves, it really shows up.
Redding, that was his re-ride opportunity there. Well, here's what we know. We've got 2 riders in based on score. Buck-off time will fill the rest. That concludes our bull riding. That means the field is set for who is moving on to the shootout round. The American Rodeo, presented by Durango Boots, is brought to you by Smarty. Train like a pro. And by JCB, the official tractor and skid steer of the American Rodeo.
A last-minute opportunity proves to be a prosperous opportunity. Stetson right, you get it done. Big points. You didn't even know this morning that you were going to be competing today.
No, I woke up to a phone call about 6 this morning, and Kai had told me that he was hurt, and I didn't even think I was an alternate, so I just went back to sleep, and then I woke up again. There was 50 missed calls from Ryder. There's just a bunch of people calling me saying to get down here, and I mean, if you get an opportunity like that, you better shine, because I'm pretty lucky.
You are indeed lucky, but you're talented, and you've already matched up with Top Shelf one time. Walk us through this ride.
The bull, he steps forward so much. I tried to get to the front, and then he got my head whipping at the end, but I luckily finished, and oh, there's a lot going on, but it was fun.
After last night's performance with your team at the Global Cup, you get the win. How much momentum do you have coming into today?
I feel like I got a lot. I mean, I know I didn't ride all the ranked bulls last night, but I watched and I was part of that team, and it just pumped me up and then rolled into the day.
Stetson Wright moving on to the top 4.
Wright coming back number 1 with that 88.5, as is Dinner Barbosa. And then 2 advance on buck-off times, and guess who? World champs. Moving on, Kaiki Pacheco, Sage Kimsey are going to get another opportunity. That will be your 4 in the bull riding, as Creek Young is out with injury. Well, what a round of 10 it has been on Championship Sunday. The field is set. 4 in each event coming back. 11 total contenders have an opportunity to advance for that $2.1 million. What a long round we just witnessed here.
Yeah, I felt like on the rough stock side of things, Luke, it was good. The horsepower was good. The bull power was outstanding. And I think there's just more to come.
Yeah, and especially, how about that team roping? I'm excited to see this 4-man. These guys are going to get it on. They know the steers they got drawn. It's going to be exciting.
Will we see $2.1 million check being raised? Will we see multiple contenders winning inside AT&T Stadium? The champs are here. The young guns are here. Everyone wants their piece. They have fought, they have clawed to get to this point, and all that is left is one run, one ride for their shot at the biggest payday in Western sports. $3.2 million on the line. Join us at 4 p.m. Eastern time as we wrap up the 9th edition of the American Rodeo. And what a rodeo it is going to be. We'll see you then.
All across America, hardworking farm and ranch families grow the food that feeds us and form the backbone of countless communities. As a proud American company, we're here to say thanks with Polaris Ag Advantage, an exclusive program to support America's farmers and ranchers in recognition for all you do. Learn more at polarisagadvantage.com.
At JCB, we know good enough is never good enough. Simply meeting expectations just won't cut it. We've built JCB with that in mind. Because in this life, you have to grab each new challenge by the horns. Be strong. Be bold. Be committed. You have to rise above. You have to be better.
Our coffee is more than a flavor. It's a culture, an obsession fueled with tradition and rituals that we hope will continue to support those who make our communities thrive. Morning, noon, and night. Community coffee.